just because. And even if some people found that annoying, it didn't overstay its welcome. And there does come a point where it does blow up in his face, and he does go into shock about it, and then has to learn to grow and he learns to grow and become
the Pirate King,
a more developed person. What was the competitor? It was Demon Slayer and
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Ooh, yeah. I'm going to edge this out over. I'm going to edge this to Demon Slayer, actually.
Oh,
I just think I don't know. I quite like the main villain of Demon Slayer, Mr. Michael Jackson lookalike, over Father. I just think Demon Slayer looks really pretty, and I think the main characters. I would probably say Full Metal has a overall has a better cast. Well, overall, I like them more. But in Demon Slayer, there's characters I absolutely love, and there's characters that I find obnoxious, and sometimes I really enjoy them.
Okay. Next is an anime. One of these anime almost appeared on my list. Interspecies Reviewers versus Panty and Stalking.
Yeah.
It was Panty and Stalking almost appeared on my list because I loved that show.
Mine would have been Interspecies Reviewers if I had enough slots.
Yeah. Penny and Stalking's a lot of fun. It's
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great. It's one of those that feel inspired by Western culture.
I don't myself how funny Gardner Belt was.
Yeah, like adult, it's based on more adult Western cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Interspecies Reviewers, I really enjoyed for multiple reasons. It's a really funny show. There's a few good parts of action. It's not just what you think it is. Like, it's mainly that, but it's not just that. There's a lot more to it. There's comedy in it. There's action. I've actually found a couple of heartwarming moments in it. And the Monster Girls. Anyway.
I couldn't agree more. That's another runner-up for me.
Yeah.
Natsume?
Yeah, I almost put that on my list, but then I was like, well, I like quintessential quintuplets more as a harem, and I like Interspecies Reviewers more as for the Monster Girl. So I was like,
I mean, if there's another one you like, Elise, you could have put that one on.
Yeah.
Like, with that logic, I probably couldn't make a list because all mine are comedy, except for a few.
Yeah. Well, it's just for that. It's like, I essentially, I like this aspect in this thing, and I like a different aspect of this thing in something else. If they went up together, it would just be like, oh, I like these two things somewhat, but this one does it really good. And I'm like, I didn't want my list to feel a bit too redundant. But yeah, I'm going with Interspecies Reviewers.
Yeah, buddy.
Rest in peace, Panty and Stalking.
Yeah.
So,
hey,
that was I'm taking that as Nick's nice way of saying he likes me more than you, Sean. Okay, moving on.
Bro.
I like what?
You like me more than Sean. I'm taking that as a fact. Alright, moving on.
Kakegurui versus One Punch Man.
Ooh, alright, that's One Punch Man.
I figured that was gonna happen.
Don't get me wrong. Kakegurui is a really interesting anime.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's
crazy
not for
bitch.
everyone. Yeah, it's not for everyone. It tackles a lot of more mature themes, especially around the more cultural problem of Japan's gambling addiction. And it shows it in in a very dis- a very disgustingly perverted way. Is probably the best way I could describe it. But it's still,
Yeah.
but it still manages to keep. It still manages to make the main characters. One of which who is just some boring guy. Other one's like absolute psycho bitch. Um, there's moments where they make her seem like 400 IQ big brain girl. And other times where they're just like, yeah, no, this bitch is just completely insane. And they do that so well, especially in a lot of the gambles, which just makes things really interesting because then you're just like, oh god, what's gonna happen now?
Oh,
But One Punch Man.
But One Punch Man, exactly. One Punch Man is hilarious. It's awesome. And like the first season just was animated so beautifully. It balances the comedy. It balances like it's it's in a sense it's a parody of superheroes while also being an homage to superheroes at the same time. Which normally when it comes to superheroes you either get like one or the other. I find.
Oh, you just got that one. Yeah, I know. I know how you feel. Alright. Final are two animes that also appeared in my list. Seven Deadly Sins versus Agretzko.
Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh.
I'm be real. Like I loved Agretzko. I think Agretzko is
Oh, it's
really funny,
really good.
and I love all the metal inspirations. Like that first metal scream, I thought was just hilarious.
When she fucking like hits her foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
But I'm going with yeah, and it's very cute, but it tackles a lot of more. I wouldn't say mature themes, but more just grown up themes.
Relatable
Like
stuff.
yeah, relatable grown up things. Like work sucks. My boss is a dickhead.
Yeah.
Why
He's
can't I
he's
just
a
stay
literal pig.
Yes, a literal pig. Why can't I just stay home and drink?
Pretty much.
So yeah, it it has a very cute basic style, but still being very relatable and funny. Uh, I still love the yoga instructor protein.
Protein. So
For anyone who
good.
doesn't know, there's a kangaroo who's like this yoga instructor, and all he says is protein.
And he's voiced by fuck.
he's voiced by Fuck. Oh, my favorite actor.
No,
Yeah.
Sites. He's voiced by Dio.
Uh,
Yep.
So, and you know what?
Protein.
For that show, almost as buff as the actual Dio. And
Honestly.
he's almost always just exercising.
And there's been one point where he's like just meditating. And he's like protein. Protein.
I like the one where he's just doing push-ups and it's like someone's like talking to him,
Protein.
like
Protein.
deep
Protein.
personal
Protein.
stuff. It's like protein.
So good. Such a good show.
Yeah. I'm going with Seven Deadly Sins. I really enjoyed the action. A lot of the characters at the beginning they can get quite annoying, but they actually grow into much more well-developed, fleshed-out characters. They have the fun, overpowered aspects in earlier seasons, but then when you this is what I love about I can't quite get the name of the person who made it. But what I love what he does with the shows, he manages to give the characters their overpowered moment, because there's always someone who is way more overpowered who's going to take that away from him. So you get the introduction of the Sins and how overpowered they are, and you get the threats. It's like, oh, they look overpowered compared to the regular people, and then like the Sins show up and just be even more broken, and then the demons show up and just massacre everyone, and then Escanor shows up and just obliterates the demons, and who doesn't love that much hype? It just keeps escalating.
Remember when he was fighting one of the commandments that I think like made everyone like I took away their spirit and it's like, fuck, how can I be afraid? I just pity you or something.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, Esperosa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Esperosa.
because his commandment was, I think it was like love or something, or like piety or something. No, it's not piety. It was love. It was like if you harbored any negative emotions towards him, you were unable to move. So like if you like hated him or something like that.
Oh yeah, how can I hate something so weak?
I just pity them.
Yeah, that's just like, oh fuck.
There's so many great quotable lines as well, like, "You took away my son? Who decided that?" And then at that point you're just like, oh fuck, oh shit, this boy got to die.
Anyway.
But yeah, I also want to add, Seven Deadly Sins was the first anime that made me go pick up the manga, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I'm waiting for the sequel series.
Woo! Is it about their kid?
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of usually how it goes, but we'll see how it goes.
yeah, but they're going to be themed after like the Four Horsemen.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's going to be Meliodas' kid, Barnes' kid, it's going to be based. Yeah, it's going to be based after everyone else's kids. I was
You
gonna
get a
say
kid. You get a kid.
Not you.
I was gonna say the others, but I was like, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay. Anyway, losers bracket. First one: Overlord versus Soul Eater.
Oh fuck me.
I'm good.
I'll pass. Oh, we had the same joke.
I'm gonna
Original.
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater?
Yeah.
Expected. Zombieland Saga versus Konosuba.
Ooh. All right.
Two crazy comedies.
Yeah. This is probably gonna get me crucified, but I'm going with Zombieland Saga just because I found it funnier.
Well, yeah, because Overlord.
The internet's going to destroy you.
Is it though?
I love Konosuba, but I just found Zombieland Saga to be funnier.
Wait, I thought it was Overlord versus that.
No, Overlord fought
No.
Soul Eater and Soul
Oh,
Eater won.
okay.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood versus Panty and Stocking.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I expected that. That sucks too, because Panty and Stocking has so many great jokes. Kakegurui versus Agretzko.
Ooh. I'm gonna give that to Agretzko, actually.
Okay. Alright, back to the winner's bracket. Keijo versus Quintessential Quintuplets.
Lewd versus Wholesome.
Yeah.
You know which one to pick.
Do I, though?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Quintessential Quintuplets.
He's a wholesome man.
Yeah.
In space. Sorry, I had to make the Space Dandy reference. Alright. Drifters versus Saint Seiya.
Drifters.
Back with that. Demon Slayer versus Interspecies Reviewers.
Ooh.
Thinking in progress.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you gotta make bad decisions. Sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger and kill that child.
Oh, you're fucking awful. I love you.
Oh my god! After I said that, Where are you?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay. She shot the guy behind her.
Uh,
It's okay. There was someone robbing the house, and she shot the robber, and then she shot herself.
you found it out, and then you just jumped right back into that hole.
No, it's okay. She shot her shot in the foot. It's okay. She's fine.
Like, you dug a grave, climbed back out, and then jumped right back into that grave.
It's just the suction cup, man. Fuck yeah! Let's start World War III.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, my face hurts. Oof.
I'm gonna go with interspecies reviewers. I liked that whole cast of characters.
The internet will also destroy you again.
What was that up against?
Because I swear to God, no one shuts the fuck up about Demon Slayer.
Oh, Demon Slayer?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can
No,
love it if
I
you
will-
want. But
I love it, but I will admit it's
I thought it
overrated.
was just okay.
One Punch Man versus Seven Deadly Sins.
7 Deadly Sins.
Ooh.
I love Saitama, but I just find 7 Deadly Sins overpowered characters just more interesting.
Well, do you find Saitama?
It's
Do you
funny.
find Saitama more interesting than the characters in Soul Eater? Because that's what it's fighting in the losers bracket.
Oh, are we doing that now or later?
Yes, we're doing Soul Eater versus One Punch Man
Oh.
right now.
I'm going to. I'm gonna go with Soul Eater on that.
I was about to say, you say I'm going to, and I was be like, cry. Just hear Nick sobbing. All right. Soul Eater goes on. Zombieland Saga versus Demon Slayer.
So the internet's gonna hate me.
Again, are you going Zombieland Saga?
I don't know. Leaning towards it. I'm not gonna lie. I am leaning towards Zombieland Saga. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like it was how I felt about Orange. I was like, I thought that I was leaning one way, and then I talk more about why I love the other anime, and I'm like, shit, I might actually think differently. Because when you talk about it, you're like, fuck, now I remember why I love it.
Yeah.
So, it happens. Sometimes you surprise yourself.
Yeah.
And my God, this earbud
Zombieland
is
Saga is hilarious with a surprising amount of heartwarming scenes. Like, not gonna lie, because there's this one scene where one of the zombies, Lily, since these zombies only died like a few years ago, a couple of them, they have to like meet all their like dead like friends and family, and it is heartbreaking when Lily like meets her dad again, and her dad's like this huge dude, but he looks so dead inside almost constantly, and it's just so heartwarming because the episode he gets introduced, you find out that because like Lily before she died used to be like a movie star, and she like because the work got to her, she eventually had a heart attack, and the dad carries so much guilt about that. Like he won't even like look at television anymore. And then he essentially finds Lily again, but he doesn't know it's her. And then he just looks so surprised, and then he almost makes a scene about it. And then the next day he comes back to apologize to her, and he's like, "Oh, you reminded me of my child, and I missed him so much greatly." And like, episode ends with like this beautiful like solo for Lily, who's essentially like singing about like it's okay, and it's just I'm actually genuinely starting to tear up now because it was such a sweet scene.
That reminds me a bit of
You fucking crybaby, and I'm kidding.
bro, no,
I'm kidding.
fuck, what was it? The one Violet Evergarden reminds me of the one episode, the one that everyone knows, because she's I forgot the title of the job that she has, but she basically like writes letters for people, and she's like a former child soldier. She has problems with like emotions, and expressing them. But there's one where she meets like with.
Hey everyone, thank you guys for watching.
While you're here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure to ring that bell.
Also check out our other content, both on this channel and our individual ones.
And as always, I'm Sean the MK Ninja.
And I'm Noah the NNBandicoot.
And we're the Super Tryhard Bros, and thank you so much for watching.
Peace.
Bye.